Snoop Dogg has been a rap icon for the better part of 3 decades, and after dropping numerous albums and investing in a ton of different ventures, it's safe to say that he's not short a dollar or two. And the Long Beach rapper certainly knows how to spend his hard-earned cash. Today, we're talking about Snoop Dogg's rich lifestyle and how he spends his millions. So stay right where you are. First up, it's those tricked-out rides. Of course, being a West Coast native, Snoop knows a thing or two about cars. Known for his collection of classic rides, he is thought to own around 15 high-end motors, from the classic 70s Cadillacs to the more modern Tesla. And being from LA, of course, he has a couple of lowriders in his fleet. He owns a 1974 Cadillac Snoop DeVille lowrider, and a 1966 Pontiac Lakers Parisien, and a 1966 Pontiac Parisien convertible, all of which by now, and having been owned by one of the most iconic rappers ever, are pretty much priceless. But it's not just the lowriders Mr. Dogg is partial to. He's also known to own a $312,000 Rolls-Royce Ghost, a Ferrari 458 Italia, thought to be worth around the same price, and a 2011 Ford Mustang GT Funkmaster Flex Edition, which, similar to the lowriders, you'll have to part with some serious cash for Snoop to part with. Of course, he has more practical rides in the Dogg Pound, amongst them being a Tesla Model X, which will have set him back around $80,000, and a Dodge Challenger SRT8 for a similar price. He can also be seen rolling in his Cadillac Escalade, a very popular car amongst the doggy-style rappers' peers. And bizarrely, Snoop is also proud owner of a Roland Heights school bus, which apparently holds sentimental value for the Dre affiliate. What do you make of Snoop's car collection? His cribs are up next. Stick around for this one. Snoop has always stayed true to his roots and has never lived anywhere but a stone's throw away from where he grew up, right in LA. In 1998, the legendary MC bought a crib in Diamond Bar, California for a cool $720,000. A bargain these days. He's lived there ever since, and the mansion is located inside the gated community of County Estates on 2.8 acres of land. The house reportedly has around 4,000 square feet and consists of 4 bedrooms and 4 bathrooms. And of course, being California, where it's sunny virtually every day, the house comes complete with a pool and a spa. And staying true to his youth, growing up in the streets of Long Beach, where basketball was a huge part of his life, he had a full-size court put in the crib, which is pretty cool. Snoop also reportedly bought a 2-story house on the same street, which he calls the church. And this one, although pretty innocuous looking, serves one particular function. He's converted all of the bedrooms into recording studios, where that's all of his creative processes are able to come together. And the church also comes complete with a basketball court, so he can kick back and chill in downtime between recording sessions. The crib also comes equipped with a kitchen, which Snoop uses to show off his cooking skills on social media. Are you a fan of Snoop? What's his best work in your opinion? Next up, we're discussing his boxing league. Stay with us. It was reported back in 2020 that Snoop was partnering with Triller to create a celebrity boxing league, and it came as no surprise to boxing or combat sports fans, as the rapper regularly takes part in boxing commentary, providing a more humorous angle, shall we say. He commentated on Roy Jones Jr.'s versus Mike Tyson exhibition back in the autumn of 2020, and shortly after the event, it was revealed that he would be pumping some of his hard-earned dollars into the venture with Triller. The league was formed after the Tyson vs. Jones bout prompted 1.2 million buys of the Triller app, which Snoop clearly saw the value in. He's known to have pumped some of his own money in, which will surely yield a big return if they, keep the big fights coming. It's thought that the app is going to host 5 to 8 events per year, and will mix boxing fights with musical acts, like the Tyson Jones card. What are your thoughts on Snoop's boxing venture? Let us know below. We're discussing his love of jewelry next. Stick around. Of course, being a hip-hop luminary, Snoop has a pretty sick chain collection. Chains are seen as a status symbol in the rap game, and Snoop has some of the best around. And at this year's Super Bowl's halftime show, the Long Beach rapper showed off a new Death Row chain, which has been thought to cost a pretty penny, although no price has been confirmed for it. And of course, the chain he showed off at this year's Super Bowl wasn't his only one. He's known to have multiple No Limit and Death Row pieces, which both mark his 2 very important periods in his musical journey. It was reported that the No Limit chain cost as much as $2 million, but it was thought that the Master P gifted it to the Dog father. Many of his pieces are thought to cost up to 7 figures, and pretty much all consist of solid gold, a far cry from his days as a struggling MC in the early 90s. He's also known to own a pretty slick custom diamond-encrusted microphone, which is thought to have cost up to 6 figures. What's your most expensive piece? Those threads are coming through next. Of course, being one of the flyest MCs to ever do it means Calvin Broadus always had to look on top of his game in the clothing department. Snoop's style has long been correlated directly with his music. music. From the baggy plaid t-shirt and jeans of the early 90s to the basketball jersey era of the late 90s, Snoop has seen it all. Of course, around the rhythm and gangsta days, Snoop was often seen rocking fur coats and hats and suits and plenty of gold. It had been suggested that during his 30-year reign as one of hip-hop's most beloved, Snoop has spent millions on his threads. But of course, no exact figure is known. Next up, it's that weed habit. Snoop Dogg is arguably the planet's biggest advocate of weed and is rarely seen without a blunt. But of course, he doesn't just go down to the corner and get his stash anymore, being the celebrity that he is. So the primo weed he's known to indulge in comes at a premium. And one Snoop fan on Reddit has even given us a breakdown of how much the great man spends on his favorite bud. The fan has suggested the average pound of weed on the street would cost between $2,000 and $3,000. But obviously Snoop is smoking the best of the best, so we're gonna say he probably pays more like $4,000. And given the sheer quantity of weed that he smokes, the Redditor has suggested that Snoop could spend up to $250,000 on his favorite plant each year. That's just mind-blowing money, but I guess if you have it and it's legal, which it is now in California, then why not? He's also known to have invested wisely. Snoop invested in Swedish financial firm Klarna Bank back in 2019, and although the investment records are private, the company was worth $2.5 billion back in 2015. The Dogfather uses his Casa Verde investment company to handle his investments, and they've also been behind his venture into a delivery service. The company also bought him a cool $45 million just for existing in 2018, closing their debut fund with a huge amount of cash for the rapper. He can buy all the weed he wants with that, right? And finally, it's his booth at the Lakers. Snoop's been a huge fan of the Lakers since the 70s, when he started going to watch them with his grandfather. And once he hit it big time, he decided to spend a chunk of his earnings on a suite to watch his heroes. The booths can sell for anywhere between $3,500 to $1,200 per game. But knowing Snoop Dogg, we don't think he's going to be slumming it in the $3,500 suites. We assume he probably kicks it in the most expensive suite there. And he's there for 41 home games per season, so that, yeah, it makes sense. And also, that's almost $500,000 on just watching the Lakers. Insane. And Snoop Dogg hit the headlines a couple of years back when he said he'd be selling the booth for $5 due to the team's poor performance. He posted a hilarious rant online encouraging people to hit him up for the tickets. Brilliant. Who's your NBA team? They can't be as poor as the Lakers have been doing over the past few seasons, right? As always, thanks for joining us today. And remember to stop by next time for some more fun and games. Also, why not do us a solid by liking and sharing today's video with any Snoop enthusiasts you might know of, while not forgetting to subscribe to our channel so you don't miss out on more great content going forward. Later, guys.